when it comes to your own personal achievement and goal setting, we sometimes often become our own worst hurdle. We're going to go into the why of that today, right here on the 3-1 Group. Hi, everyone. I'm Dave Shore, joined by Kevin Kolbe and Mike Morgan. Mike, why is it that sometimes we fall short when it comes to setting those goals or those perspectives for the future?
I think there are a couple of factors in that. I think number one, our biggest and boldest dreams scare us, and we're all at some level. The majority of us are at some level afraid of failing. The what we consider to be the traditional definition of failing, and we try to create a safe space for ourselves to create what we believe to be an achievable goal. So I think it starts with just sometimes we scare ourselves with what the view of our possible might be. And that fear keeps us kind of boxed in on something much smaller and much lower than what we could ultimately accomplish. I think the other is, we often aren't thinking big enough. If you've got a dream to start a business and you just want to make, $50,000 a year in your business, why not have a goal of making $500,000? Because the goal of a business is to serve people. And while you can serve people and make 50,000, imagine the number of people you could serve if you made 10 times that. Your value is based in the number of people you can effectively serve. So it's like, I always encourage people, set goals that you feel are unachievable. And as long as you're willing to put the work and the effort in, there's always a chance. There's nothing worse than setting a goal so low that you can achieve it in no time at all. And once you've achieved it, what then? I'm more of the mindset that achieve a goal that you think is so big it scares you to death, and then plot a plan to put yourself in a position to pursue that every day for as long as it takes the rest of your life to get into that space and achieve that ultimate goal.
That's a great point. And it made me think about several years ago, bunch of guys that I went to church with talked me into playing soccer. And I don't know what they saw in me, because I wasn't, nor am I now, a soccer player. And about 3 games in, I blew out my ACL. Oof. And I remember I had the surgery and I went through the rehab, and the goal of the people at the rehab, first of all, I joked with my wife and I said, I think when you say ow, that motivates them, was to get me out of rehab and back to normal as fast as possible. And, I would see other people in there, when the therapist would turn around, they would stop. And then the therapist would turn back around and they would start again. And they were doing the minimum. And, it hurt, but I started increasing weight and things at home, because I realized, and I just thought I think this analogy fits now, is that, if they had just kind of not pushed me and it'll just get better over time, and we'll just do that, I'd probably still be like in rehab.
Yeah.
But their goal is to push me beyond my comfort, make me, work through the pain. And then I actually came out, I think, stronger, So I just thought about that as you were saying that.
I love the way you use that analogy, because first of all, I love analogies. Second of all, I love visualization as kind of that motivation and making sure that I've got the picture set big enough. During the broadcasting days, I was with a particular NBA team that I traveled with who hadn't won a title. And when it got down to the start of the playoffs, they happened to have a veteran on the team who, just before the playoffs, I had mentioned to him, I said, you know what, it's probably time to bring in those 2 world championship rings you have. And sure enough, in a team meeting, he brought them in, just passed them around, put them on their finger. The visualization of, we've never achieved this before, and this is what we're going for, is to have that big old rock on our hand that says we're the champs from now on. And I just kind of took that personally when you think, man, don't just look at the immediate people around you, man. Find a visualization that is just big. Even if you're going to reach a potential of that or a percentage of it, it's still going to be bigger than what maybe you would have originally thought.
Yeah. Here's my my encouragement to everybody that happens to watch or listen to this video. you've got a particular purpose, and you've got a role that you can play in the greater context of the world. You should set a goal. I believe all of our goals should be to bring as much as we can, based on the talents and skills and resources that we've been given or exposed to, as much as we possibly could ever contribute to the world. That should be all of our goals. And you can't set small, you can't have a small vision or a small goal and accomplish all that is inside of you, and it's like, set a big goal. Think about what you could ultimately contribute to the world that would leave it better than, it was before you got here. And then go for that on a daily basis with everything that you have, using all the tools and techniques we've been talking about and we'll continue to talk about in these videos, with your time management and, your process work and all that. But it's all got to start with that, the biggest goal you could dream for yourself. And once you get that goal set, you just start to work backwards and hold yourself accountable to the pursuit of that. And where you land, you land. It's the old shoot for the moon, and if you miss, you'll end up among the stars, or whatever that shoot for the stars. Whatever the analogy is,
it's one of those planets.
Yeah, right. Whatever's further away, if you don't get there, you're going to be still in a really cool space.
Yeah.
So
yeah. I would throw to that too, is like, stop letting people limit what you can do. Stop letting people limit your beliefs. I think too many people are constantly trying to seek permission and approval. And the worst thing that can happen is then you want to let, you're trying to run your dreams and your aspirations by everyone. And I think that it can kill your career, it can kill your creativity, it can kill your enthusiasm. We were mentioning off mic this book that I would recommend called Chase the Lion. It's by Mark Batterson. And the subtitle is, "If your dream doesn't scare you, it's too small."
Yeah, that's a great one.
And I think that just goes with what we're talking about is, and I think, Mike, you said it, is that, it's easy to set small goals. Like, I'm just going to do something, I'm going to upload a video to my YouTube channel. Well, there's nothing wrong with that. But what about like going beyond that? What about the next one? And the next, what do you want to do a year from now? In fact, do you want your channel to be your business so you can quit your job? I mean, what is that dream that scares you enough that makes you maybe excited about it, and you're going to take a chance, and you don't really care if other ones aren't on board because, it's not their dream.
Yeah. Yeah. I think, Mike, you mentioned, if in case someone's watching or listening to this, you're often immediately thinking how that pertains to you. And one of the concepts of our name, the 3-1 group, the reason why we're together is we have 3 extensive backgrounds. They're different, but yet they're unique and they're similar in a way. So if you fire this back, if you're on one of the times when we go live and give you a chance to interact, or maybe you interact with us as a group, you might throw this same concept back. How would you see this from your 3 particular areas? I know from the world of leadership, if you're going to grow something, whether it's grow something new or a side hustle, and you got others involved, make sure you're hiring and putting in a position someone that thinks this way, who is obviously thinking down the road and where this would go, and that they're in line with what you want to do and your vision as well.
Yeah, look, I think if you want to go through this exercise and try and make this work for you, here's what you need to do. Look yourself in the mirror, ask yourself, what have I set out to achieve in my life, and what more can I do? Make a note of that. Don't judge it. Don't judge yourself. Don't judge the response. Make a note of it, and plot a plan to make that happen. And I might personally keep in pursuit of my own goals. I often go back to this quote, and I'm pretty sure it was a Tony Robbins quote that says, every one of us often vastly overestimates what we can accomplish in 1 year, and vastly underestimate what we can accomplish in 5 years. So it's a message to me that says, you swing for the fences. If you miss at the first few up bats, if you just keep swinging, like the old Babe Ruth and Hank Aaron, you're going to get those home runs. You just got to keep swinging for the fences if you want to hit home runs. And, the very first thing is, you can't walk up to the plate as a batter and think, I just want to hit, I just want to get a single. If you're just trying to get a single, there are going to be no home runs coming behind that. So aim again, shoot for the moon, try to get as close as you can. And wherever you land, be comfortable that you gave all you had and you got as far along as you could in your, in your pursuit of your own personal goals.
Yeah, and the only thing I would add to that is, and it was something that we tried to instill in our kids too, and then when I led a creative team at a TV station, is that don't give up before you even try. It's too easy to say I can't, or you just barely kind of try and say I can't do that, and it's like, well, but maybe you can't. Maybe that isn't what you're gifted at. Maybe that's not your area of expertise where you're going to grow, but at least give it a shot. And I think it is just too easy to get into the I can't, so therefore I won't. And there's a thing I like to share with folks is that I think then you're robbing the world of your gifts when you're not even willing to take the chance.
Love it.
Yeah, guys, this is always fun. Thanks. And I want to remind everyone, if you're just tuning in to us for the first time, you haven't subscribed to this channel, please do that. It's a 3-1 group. We'll get into a variety of topics and go through and watch or listen to some of the other ones that we've gotten into. And please give us suggestions. Write in the comments a thought, a question, a problem, a dilemma that you face, and we'll explore those in future episodes as well. For Kevin, for Mike, I'm Dave. Thanks so much for joining us on the 3-1 group.